Hey guys, welcome to October's hashtag Let's Get Shenmue 4-day stream. The months are rocking by this year. It feels like a few weeks ago it was only the 4th of September and it's gone so bloody quick. Guys, I hope you're all well. As ever, James is with me, full of COVID still, but how are you doing?
I'm not doing too bad actually. It's going. It's almost gone. What? Nearly 4 weeks later.
Bloody hell.
Nice healthy bout of COVID.
I got
How's
away.
everyone doing in the
I
chat?
got I got away with that. Got away with that because you got it
You did all
from
right,
from
mate.
from the
Yeah.
from the Sonic concert, it seems, and I didn't somehow, and we were in the same bloody
Well,
room.
yeah. It would seem like we got it from the. Well, I got it from the Sonic show, right? Because there's a massive group of people. It's rampant in London. Someone we know's got it, who was like part of the group,
Yeah.
and I drove in a car with you for like 3 hours and you're all
Yeah.
right. So it's weird how it works, isn't it?
Never mind. I'll quickly run through chat. Just say hello to everybody. I can see Ginger's in. I can see William Lovering is in. JP Asher, Ninty Gold, Retro Godfather, Abdullah is in as well. Mr. Skywalker, and I think I've said Ninty Gold already, but I'm going to say it again just in case I missed you. Guys, thank you for dropping in so much. It's obviously a Wednesday, so it might be a slightly quieter stream tonight. We'll see how we go. But before I dive into Shenmue 3, as part of my year of playing Shenmue games all through the streams, we're into Shenmue 3 now. There's a bit of news, little bits of news, not masses, but little bits. James, do you want to take us away with the first bit of news?
Right, guys. So obviously you've probably seen this by now, but we did conduct an interview with Yu Suzuki a couple of weeks ago about Air Twister, not Shenmue. Although there are some Shenmue questions in there that we asked, right, Matt?
Oh, yeah.
So
I had to get those in there.
got to drop a couple in there. But yeah, that was pretty big deal for us because it's the first time that like me and Matt have managed to get an interview with the big man, as it were. So really special moment to actually get a written interview. And I've just posted a link in the chat there. And then since then, we have had more interviews coming through from other what would you call them, articles,
other
people,
outlets, isn't it? So
other
yeah.
outlets. Yeah, so that's one there. The 6 Axis have done one today. If you want to, guys, you want to check that one out. Yeah, drop that in the chat as well.
Beautiful.
Pretty cool. And then that kind of segues into the next topic of the news, which Yu Suzuki is randomly attending an event in Italy called Luca Comics and Game Convention 2023, and that's going to be at the start of November. I've linked the post there. Matt, you got any extra details on that?
This is a weird one. I'm playing devil's advocate straight away. It's a very random game convention to go to. I'd never heard of this before until it popped up. I think Kid Marine posted it on the forums last week sometime. It's like a Comic-Con type thing in Italy. I think it's the biggest convention in Italy. So there's a lot of people going to be there across games, comics, and other sort of media as well. Very random. Very, very random place to go. I know, James, you're going to say, well, Air Twister releases very shortly after this. So that does make sense in that regard. But
if you were thinking Shenmue might pop up, I don't know. Because, like you say, is it like a week before Air Twister releases? So it could be like the closest event to sort of market that game.
It could be.
Thinking. But like you say, Italy's quite a far away sort of place for Yu Suzuki to like just travel to. He might as well come to EGX while he's at it, hasn't he?
Wow, yeah, he may as well. I mean, we did actually ask if ININ were going to come with Air Twister, but unfortunately they're not. They said to us that I think it was Gamescom took them out, which I can sort of understand. We have got a Gamescom write-up still coming as well. Flag's been working on that behind the scenes, but has had some sort of private issues that he needs to sort out. But that is still coming.
Really
I've seen a snippet of it. There's some good news in there as well, actually, which hasn't been revealed publicly yet. It might be. We'll see. But cool. If not, then there's going to be a little bit of a world exclusive in there, which is always nice to see. So I'm going to coin the whole
world exclusive.
Yes, exactly. World premiere.
World premiere.
Oh dear God, no, we're not selling out down that line just yet, are we? Or are we?
If you see my lights just keep flickering, guys, I'm trying to set my lights up again. I've had a new phone, and I didn't realise that the app would require me to connect all my lights again.
I didn't know that.
So,
Italian Joe, she said, Luca Comics is like the Tokyo Game Show for Italy. Okay, so it's a reasonably sized convention then. Okay, hey.
Never actually heard of it before, but
just
sounds good.
Before I dive into Shenmue 3, there's some other people to join us in the chat. Strictly Sega Europe, brilliant. It's great to see you as always, man. Clunky Mage, again, thank you for dropping in. Italian Joe 83, thank you. And Strange But True, I don't recognise your name, but if this is your first time in joining us tonight, thank you and welcome to the Shenmue Dojo streams. Just to explain, I'm now playing Shenmue 3, having played Shenmue 1 and 2 at speed, not speed running, but at speed. With the aim of playing all 3 Shenmue games across the streams this year. And I think that I'm on course to play them all and get them all finished this year.
I think you're on course.
We'll see.
Shenmue 2 was quite rapid, wasn't it?
It was bloody quick. What, 2 streams?
Good how you did it.
Something like that.
2. You know, I was going to say, I know you did like the whole of Kowloon in 1 stream, didn't you?
Yeah, I smashed that. It was nuts. Okay, I'm going to open tonight's discussion based on the video I put out on Saturday. And is that, should Shenmue 4 be a digital-only release? Yes or no? What do people think? And should there be some sort of physical edition if they go down the digital route? I'm putting that out to chat. James, what's your thoughts on it? And let's dive into some Shenmue 3.
Well, you did make some good points in the video. Obviously, you want to sort of make the most cost-effective release possible for Shenmue 4 without it relying, too many costly ventures for Wisenet or whoever's going to take this on. But I'm a sucker for physical. And to be fair, I think that Josh Limited Run Games would not let a Shenmue game release without it being physical. So even if it doesn't get like a in-store across the globe physical release like Shenmue 3 got, you're definitely going to see a release, available through Limited Run Games, at least in my opinion.
Just very quickly, chat. Is game audio okay in comparison to James tonight?
But for us, Matt, I mean, we'd buy both. I'd probably get it for digital, ease of access sort of thing, and the physical releases on my shelf. I've got like 15 copies of Shenmue 3, so I'd obviously buy a physical if they released a physical. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know, monetary-wise, how expensive or how costly is it to have a worldwide physical release?
It gets quite expensive.
What you're relying on.
It essentially eats into your profits, because you're then having to make physical copies, distribute them. Then the retailers obviously buy them for a cost and sell them, mark them up to sell them. I think it worked out an extra 20-30%, I think what I said in the video, which is quite a chunk of money.
Quite a big chunk, yeah. Yeah. 20%. But is that based on sales? So, like, say if they didn't release physical, they're still anticipating the same amount of copies to be sold.
Yeah, so basically, say you didn't release it physically whatsoever, but we were going to release it digitally. It's based on the same potential amount of sales, but the difference being that you're going to get 20 to 30% more money or revenue from those sales because you aren't producing physical copies, you aren't selling them to retailers. There's one finger out of the pie, so to speak.
And I suppose in terms of physicals, they go down in price, don't they, relatively quickly? Whereas a digital game sort of holds its value, I feel like, for quite a while.
Yeah, they do.
Like if you tried to buy the latest FIFA, for example, it's going to stay $69.99 for like the majority of the year, isn't it? Whereas like in store, the price of the physical could drop
it's a tough one. And I'm not one for advocating for the digital future, because preservation gets shot to pieces. What happens when the servers get turned off? But if it means, that things are okay, like in terms of what they can release, then and they get more money from it, then I see the point. I'm just going to check what Strange But True is saying about the stream quality on YouTube. Just bear with.
You got 1080p on, Strange But True?
Looks okay on my mobile.
Looking good to me too. Just double check your stream settings, Strange But True.
Anybody else on YouTube, can you just confirm that as well, just to make sure it's okay? If there's a problem, then obviously.
Sometimes YouTube does do that, you know. It's like just drops the stream quality for some reason until you like manually put it back up. Cool, thanks guys.
I love Bailey Village.
Mate, me too.
Absolutely adore Bailey Village. So just for anybody who's wanting to know, this is obviously Shenmue 3. It's the Steam PC version. Played vanilla, no mods, nothing. But I am going to caveat with one little thing, because I was going to do a New Game Plus, and as I said, I think last stream, and I've been saying for quite a while, I lost all my fucking saves. So when I moved PCs, I was going to do it on PlayStation 5, but I couldn't be fucked to set my capture card up. So I decided that I'm going to use Unreal's debug mode, cheat, level myself up as much as I can without crashing the game, which I have done. And there we go. Oh, thank you for the resub daily gaming videos, and welcome to stream as always.
Daily gaming videos, thanks man.
And hey Renners and Yanni as well. Magic Weather, I don't think Shenmue 4 will happen. Where I take off my rose tinted glasses, I can't see how anyone would invest in making part 4. I can understand the point, but we know Shenmue 3 did financially fine. Shenmue 1 and 2 did have good sales in terms of the re-releases, and Sega were happy with it. So it's gonna take some creative accounting. I'm not gonna lie, but I think it can happen. And they just need to give themselves the best possible opportunity. How are they going to make people money? How are they going to monetize the fan base? That's massively important here. We're a small fan base, but we're a passionate fan base. And not to sound like I'm encouraging this, but I'm going to anyway. They should rinse us for money. They should do all the merch. They should do the whole lot.
Agreed.
But there we are.
That's the attitude I like to see from Renners. Shenmue 4 will happen. Just have to believe, guys. And keep pushing.
Got enough black garlic? I haven't. Hey Gamself, welcome in as always.
Is anyone going EGX next week, guys? Next weekend? It's like might even be Thursday. I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4-day event, EGX in London.
Hey Nahum Dyer. Hey Splash as well, man. Good to see you in. I take your point about limited run games collector's edition. I think what we'd anticipate happening is they go digital only, and then limited run games do like a limited run, for want of expression, limited run Shenmue 4 physical, and then you sort of cater to both markets essentially, which people like us will double dip, won't we? Let's be honest about it.
Triple dip.
Hey Joe
nice
Kitchen,
one, Joe Kitchen.
Man.
Put my phone inside a sealed box inside a bathtub full of water, just in case. Unusual. That would be cool. Another Shenmue passport.
I'd love that.
They didn't really do one for Shenmue 2. I know they did that extra disc that was like had some bonus content on, but it wasn't really a passport as such. Well, what they did with Shenmue 1, the passport is insane, really.
Yeah, I'd love to see more of that.
Yeah. Some of the stuff that they did there, you still haven't seen anyone else repeat it since.
No,
There was some
I
stuff
haven't.
like Nozomi's messages, which was like clues in the game. It was based on data that was being recorded by the game, whether or not it realised like you were stuck or not, and then it presented you with a specific piece of information apparently tailor-made to you. It says in the manual. Not sure what is like actually triggering that. Like how does it know if he's stuck or not? Maybe like time? The amount of time that you're taking?
Maybe. Good. Brilliant exchange for truth.
Ah,
Better.
cool.
That's what I want to hear. Let's pick up some
Let us
comments quick. Magic Weather, Weird Community should ignore Sega and Wise and create our own Shenmue games and other fucking games. It's only alive now because of us, and that's a fact. It's alive. The community are definitely a part of that, don't get me wrong. But if Yu Suzuki gave up on it, that would be it. I think most people would just move on at that point. But that's just my opinion. Where are we? I hope it's not only limited run games. Imports are very expensive. I bought many of those a year ago, but they're quite costly. I hope some European distributors pick up limited run games. Are getting a European warehouse, I'm told. So I don't
That'll be handy.
I don't know if that'll like sort of change people's minds or anything like that.
I've kind of stopped buying those sort of releases. I used to buy like not everything, but like everything that I wanted. And nowadays I'm just like, I think I've come to terms with like I've got too many games and not enough time.
I've got a backlog.
There's like a lot of releases recently that I would have typically picked up. Like, isn't Assassin's Creed Mirage out like today or something? Tomorrow.
So that's
Yeah.
I've got that
I've not
turned.
even
That's
pre-ordered
tomorrow.
that or anything.
I haven't even played the Cyberpunk DLC all the way through yet. I got to play Sonic Frontiers DLC.
Just won't get time. I never finished One Funk. I'd like to get back to that. Been playing a little bit of FIFA, the new FIFA, whatever it's called.
Yeah, we need to find time
EFC.
for that as well.
That was good.
Let's pick up.
Now you're back, man.
Corporal Dwayne Hicks, guarantee virtual fighter engine and make Rio throw opponents over his shoulders again. I don't think we'll get the VF engine again, if I'm honest, unless Sega do get involved. But I know Yu Suzuki does want to bring throws back for Shenmue 4, so that's a positive. LDJ, can't wait for the announcement of Shenmue 4. Hope we can see the end to this amazing story. Don't care about graphics. If I was Yu Suzuki, I'd bring the game 4 and 5 in the engine of 1 and 2 HD. That's all we need, and keep up the great work. Thank you for dropping in. I think if they do 4, it will come back in the Shenmue 3 engine because they've got all the systems there, and it doesn't
Makes most sense.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Peter Wilson.
It was actually hard. I wanted to do 1 and 2 engine, according to Cedric.
Picking up again, Nick Hughes. Didn't Shibuya publish Twin Mirror? Might they be potential publishers for? I don't think they've got the capital to do it. I'm sure if they did, Cedric would have done it. He's a massive Shenmue fan. I think he'd have just ponied it up and gone with it. Magic Weather,
true.
yes, I agree. Lost Judgment, the Judgment games, Lost Judgment, brilliant. And was it Judge Eyes was the original one? They were really, really good. Hey, Magnus as well, welcome in. Did we hear about Daytona USA 2 being in Like a Dragon Gaiden? Yes, I did. And I think Virtua Fighter 3's popping into Infinite Wealth. Am I making that up?
I think so, right. Didn't someone say it was it the Dreamcast version?
I'm not sure.
Someone said.
And
because I remember someone saying something about how they wanted the arcade version, and then based on the footage or something. It was like Dreamcast version, but I'm not sure. Not sure on that.
I'm not sure. Gavin South, have we seen the anime since the first time? We have, because we did a year-on review this year. It took us a year to do the first review, but there you go. We'll leave that there.
What, you want to do another review?
No, I ain't got the time for that. No, I enjoyed it second time round. Very good anime. Shame it got cancelled. Complete fucking travesty.
There's another cool game that they've added to either Like a Dragon Gaiden or Erased Man, whatever it's called. What was the other one that they've added? Was it like a shooter?
Virtualon? Am I making that up?
No, was it like a Thunder Force game or something?
Now, what I am going to do when I get the chance, and not walk forward by accident, that was just stupid, I am going to do some conversations with Shenhua. Not all of them, but just some, because they are golden, and I think we've got the time. I've got 3 streams to play Shenmue 3. I reckon we can do it.
Fighting Vipers 2 was one of them, by the way.
Ah, yeah. See, Magic Weather, you might like the video I did then talking about whether RGG should pick up Shenmue, seeing your comment. You might like that.
What's the other Like a Dragon game called?
You've got Like a Dragon, Gaiden, and then you've got Infinite Wealth.
何お父さんは最後にそうかただ洞窟に向かうそうだったのかもしかする
I've done that retro as well for Gaiden. I'm importing the physical, the Asian physical, because it's got the English subs on it.
That's silly, isn't it? There's no
absolutely
Western
ridiculous.
physical.
But then Infinite Wealth is going to
Spike. Oh, Sega Bass Fishing as well. And Spike Out.
Now this is great, and I love the fact they're in these games. But shouldn't these be like a Model 3 collection? Like 15 quid?
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Yeah. They should do like a Model 1, 2, and 3 collection. Just do a massive like arcade collection. It would be
printing money, sure.
It's like that's a lot of like Sega heritage right there. Anime should really have covered the boat chapter in Meow Village. That would have been cool.
That would have been awesome.
The boat chapter especially, yeah.
Do you think Yu Suzuki talked about Shenmue 4 collaboration with Konami when he was at TGS promoting his new game?
Yeah.
Maybe. I wouldn't wholly rule it out, but I think it was just convenient that they could get the Konami stage more than anything else.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. I could be very wrong on that.
That would be cool. Cool partnership. I know Konami had a little bit of stick with all that Hideo Kojima fallout or whatever, but they seem to be doing decent things lately, don't they? They're like bringing back...
They've got the Metal Gear collection coming out.
Classic collections and Contra, stuff like that, right?
Hey, RudeTuber. Yes, playing with Japanese today. Nothing against the English at all. I just personally prefer it, so I've gone with the Japanese.
Meow Village was going to be a little sort of rural village close to Hong Kong. And there was a good blog post, wasn't there, by Phantom Ribstone. Let's get that up. Check that out in your spare time, Clunky Mage.
I love this music. It's beautiful.
こうやって歩いてみると
This music can
シェン
always
ファーの
be
家
after a
は随
while.
分村から離れてるんだな。
Ah,
Yeah,
そうね
I can't hear it.
何か理
Luckily.
由が
Have
Is
to
it
drink
the
vodka to get through Shenmue 3.
石切り場
No, I'm off work I came back from a short break away with the wife and the dog
私も入って
today.
はいけない
The dog loved it. Absolutely. It was the first time we took him to the beach and he
特別
adored
な
it.
石切り場を守るために
Oh, amazing.
Really,
What was
really
the weather
awesome.
like?
It's brilliant. We had like we had a morning where it was raining. The rest of it was really, really good. He absolutely loved the beach. Like honestly, I've never
Our
seen
dogs love the beach, mate.
He got on there, and you know you can see like a processing moment. He just ran off, running around, and then he saw the city. And he was just bolted for it. So got his feet wet. He absolutely loved it. Like, honestly, it was really.
See, our dogs are scared of the sea, but they just love the beach because it's like so open and you throw the ball to them, and bloody hell, our dogs would honestly chase a ball all day, non-stop. And never get bored of it.
Ours just like, he loved it. It was really nice actually, and for the wife as well. It was really good, I think, for her to see him run around and loving it and enjoying himself. So yeah. So I've came back.
I still live close to the beach, you know.
Come back today, so I've got vodka and Pepsi Max to keep me going because I am absolutely fucking shattered. Quite frankly.
Remember I asked you, didn't I, when I saw you, like, what's your closest beach? Because for me, it would like be like Llandudno or something like that. Whereas it's like interesting to see what your closest beach would be. That part of England, if you know what I mean.
I'm about 2 hours away from a beach where I am.
I think everyone should be close to a beach, if possible. You know, like 1 to 2 hours. Just so if you want to go to the beach one day, you can do it. It's like that simple. Feel for like those people that are in America, in like the middle of the country, where it's like, you know, there's no beach for like 10 miles or something. 10 miles, 10 hours.
And we're quite 2 hours.
The size of America.
Isn't that bad? But America's absolutely crazy. If you're right in like Texas or somewhere.
Yeah. Like I used to have a few American friends I was speaking to, and they'd never been to the beach, which is like crazy, isn't it? To think.
Mad, isn't it?
Like the best they'd seen is like a big lake or something.
ここは武甲館といって、この村に古くからある道場。
武甲館。
昔はここへ入門するために、遠くからいろんな流派の拳法家が集まってきた。でも、
Yeah, I suppose Yu Suzuki could technically fund Shenmue 4 himself.
そうなのか。
It'd need a lot of
Depends
money.
how successful like Air Twister is, and
ここで練習するという。
And also, like, we talked about profitability with Shenmue. They need to make it the best Shenmue game they can, however it's done. But it needs to be done in a way that's profitable. So that might mean, unfortunately, some compromises have to be made. I don't know. Like for one of them could be, and it's not popular opinion, that we shouldn't have 2 dubs. Save some money by having just 1 dub. Japanese, English subs, done. The Yakuza games did it for years. It's only since it's become bigger in the West that they've then put English back in. And that's only recently.
yeah, the last couple of games, isn't it? It kind of was confirmed as well on that show with Ezra that there's another project, right, that they're working on.
Yeah,
They as well.
Wisenet are doing something. So we've got Air Twister going, which we know is coming out imminently. And I give a shout out to that, and which is out on November the 10th. Published by Inning Games. It is on PlayStation consoles, Xbox consoles, Switch, and PC. Well worth grabbing. It's about £20 to £25 for a physical copy. There is a collector's edition out in Japan already. And there will be one up for pre-order in the West shortly, but I don't know when that will be.
Looking forward to it, man. I really am. I know I say like I don't really buy games anymore. Or I'm trying to stop myself from buying stuff, but that is one game that you've got to support, guys. I'm going to be buying. I'll keep my Japanese pre-order collector's edition that we've got coming back, because even if they do a Western release, even if it's the same collector's edition, you know, which it might not be, I'd still get them
I'll
both.
still get it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hazuki Ryo です。
Nice to see you, William.
Good game. Good game.
最も下の段位からじゃ。
段位
Yeah, if you like Panzer Dragoon, Space
上位
Area,
の者と試合を行
I don't
って
think you're not
勝
going
て
to
ば
enjoy
そ
it.
の段位に昇格するのじゃ
You're。not going to not enjoy it.
クンフを積み、日々怠ることなく修行に励みなさい。
See if I can change my lighting a bit now. Turn them off.
If I have to buy Air Twister to get Shenmue 4 and so be it. That's the attitude I like to have.
Hana 橋を渡った先に店があったな。
ああ、東おじさんの店。
東おじさん。
Hey,
So-
K, Chris, welcome
みん
in.
なに必要なものを何でも売っている店。
そうか。
りょう、食べ物は持ってる？
食べ物。
Ah, hang on franchise. No, I mean, I'd be down to say because they obviously own that, but I'd love to
So
see a
so
new
that-
Yu Suzuki racer. That would be awesome.
だから食べ物
That
は
looks
前
good,
もって
James.
用意しておいた方がいい。村へ行けばお
Finally
店
got
で売
there.
ってるから。
ああ、わかった。
Less orange now. There's two lights that have connected yet. Sort them later. Been playing Natsumon lately. Not heard of that game. Shenmue-esque music in it. Sounds good. The whole setup exploring a rural Japanese town in 1999 is also something I think Shenmue fans would enjoy. Okay, sounds good, man. Check it out.
Yeah, here we go.
Yu Suzuki
Yo,
to return to the Hang-On
come up,
franchise.
sir.
That would be fun.
これは
これは肝臓という生薬。
Disappointed not to see Shenmue powerful explosions. Do you think you'll ever see that, Matt?
これが薬にな
In
るのか。
Shenmue 4.
ハッカソンには肝臓以外にも
Shenmue 4
いろいろな
confirmed.
生薬が生えているの。
それはどこにあるんだ。
Announcement
Kamikaze.
right
どこに
now.
でもあるけど見つけるのはちょっと難し
Shenmue
い。
4 could be
そうな
long-term.
のか。
でも
Sorry, guys.
東おじさんの店に地図が
Shenmue
ある
4
は
could
ず
be。long-term making on the
Chizu
side while they do other work because they have
漢
most of
方
the
薬になる
assets
組み合わ
on
せの生
Unreal
薬
Engine
を
now.
揃え
They
る
only
と
need to build the
東お
area
じさんの
maps,
店で
new characters, and program the story.
そうか。
Not
覚えてる。
unrealistic.
So that's what apparently they came out with and said that took the most amount of time, right? Creating all the engines again from scratch.
70% of the development time was spent on systems. As per,
And that's all done now.
which is now a 3-year-old interview, which is crazy in itself. With
That
Ryan
is
Payton.
crazy.
It's the first interview I ever did. And I was a bag of nerves.
Ming Ming for Shenmue 4.
Ah.
I could see that.
村の広場の少し
Especially when we did that Kickstarter updates episode, Matt, and like that character was like quite well
村の鐘楼
Popped up,
mentioned
didn't she?
by, was it Kenji Miyawaki?
Kenji, yeah, Kenji.
危険が村に近づいた時に鐘を鳴らして知らせる。
それであん
We'll
な
have
に
to get
高い
into
の
the
We
second
need,
part of that
we
soon.
need to do that at some point. Fucking
村
life's
の
just
どこ
taken
からで
over
も
a
見
bit,
える
hasn't
から
it?。
道に迷った
There's
時
been
の
crazy,
目印
like you
に
said
なる
at the start of show, Matt, so
So
September's just
鐘楼を目指せば
blink, it's
どこ
gone.
からでも広場に戻れるってこと
Insane that we're in
Hamilby
October.
92, thank you for the
Vakata.
follow.
覚えておく
And
よ。
welcome.
This is when.
Ah.
Oh, welcome. Welcome in,
First
first
time
time
in
chat.
as well. Brilliant, good to see you. Hope
Awesome.
you're well.
But yeah, this is the part of the year now where it's like, it just, Christmas, just there, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's scary. It is really scary. Like, I was a bit shocked when I went to the co-op probably about 2 weeks ago and saw mince pies for sale. I was like, mince pies in September.
そうか
I went to the supermarket today, and I'm like, there's like a whole Christmas section. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Shocking, isn't it?
ちょっと
It's shocking because it's like they've got an aisle dedicated to Halloween
この
stuff
人は亮
最近
at the same time as Christmas stuff.
夜中に誰か
詳しく
男の人が大きな声で朝
Someday
お
someone
父
from
さ
the
んとお
Shenmue
母
team
さん
will
に
do
聞
a
いた
GDC keynote
So
talk.
ka.
They'll give a deep
お
explanation
兄
of
ちゃん
everything.
と
That
シ
would
ェ
be
ーファ
cool.
ありがとう
I'd love a Shenmue 3
お母さんのオーブンさんに
Postmortem.
post-mortem. That's what I'm looking for.
あ
It would take like 10 minutes apparently to update Unreal 4 to 5.3. Would be cool to see.
I'd love them to do it in 5, as long as they can get it to work
Yeah.
properly. Because there's obviously a reason that not a lot of games have used 5 yet. I've heard it's very sort of asset heavy in terms of what it uses on consoles.
Right.
すいま
Probably
せん
not
But
the
for
right
like
word.
the PS5,
It's very taxing on consoles.
Quite demanding.
What I've heard. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
この人は亮
I've driven like
私の知り合い。
4.5 hours today. I'm
そうな
fucked.
の
ゴロつきの行方
ブンさん
ray tracing, that's what it is, mate. That's the issue.
でも旦那が
Path
すぐに追っ
tracing,
払ってくれたの
DLSS
こういう
3.5.
時はすっ
You've
ご
got
く頼りにな
a
るから
4000 series card, the
そいつらは
4090.
何をしに
Fuck me, does
こ
that
っ
look
ちが
good?
聞きたいわよ私は
Yeah.
奥にいて何も見てないし
What
So
game's
this guy.
playing that though?
The new
セジェンさんの
Cyberpunk's
話を
got
聞いて
it.
みよう
Thing.
The DLC for,
Bun-san,
and
Bun-san.
Alan Strange 2 is going to
So-
run it as well.
ありがとうございまし
ありがとう
Alan Strange.
Yes, Alan Strange 2.
Alan Wake 2, you mean?
Oh, yeah, fucking hell. I need to go to
What?
bed. Fuck
I
off.
wondered what you're on about, mate. Alan Strange.
Alan Wake. Alan Wake, yeah. I am knackered.
Is his name Strange or something like that in the game?
It's a very strange game.
Alan Strange.
But yeah, Alan Wake 2, which I will eventually get. Although I hope they do a physical release. No, I haven't.
Well, that was another episode you did, Matt. Like another Kickstarter for Shenmue 4.
Yeah.
Was it post? Was it a post or a video? And a lot of people were. You were surprised how many people were actually saying they'd back it again.
たすみません
Yeah,
なん
I
だ
was quite surprised.
二人揃ってこ
Now, it
んな
was
とこ
with a
へ
very specific caveat that it was like
ゴロつきの行方を追って
70%
るんです。
done. It was to get it over the line.
二人
Oh, true.
Ah.
Yeah.
詳しく聞き
Which I think is probably about the right sort of percentage to convince
そ
people.
れは
You
酒場であったお
If it's once it's
どん
that
な大
close,
きな
亮
it's a possibility again. If it's starting from like scratch, then there probably would be concerns doing a Kickstarter. But like you say, it's like right at the tail end of development. That would,
It could push
according
it over the line,
to
couldn't
the
it?
community members, yeah.
Yeah. Amilby, my husband, got me into Shenmue. Brilliant. Good work from your husband there.
Awesome. Spot on. How long
Exactly
ago?
what you
Like,
want.
have you played? You played all 3 games by now?
Would I like to predict the release of Shenmue for 2025? Because why not?
2025.
Pulling it out of thin air.
シェーファー
Okay.
何
I have no rhyme or reason for it. I'm just pulling
手分けをしてどうも通されそう。
shit out of thin air.
俺はこの辺りか
Yeah.
ら広場までを探す
Yeah. I'd hope it
シェ
would
ーファー
be
は
either next
広
year
場
or
の
the
先
year
の集
after.
落を探してくれ
わかった
Release date.
じゃあ後で
Maybe next year's a bit too soon now. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll say 2024 on the basis that they've been working on it for the last 4 years, and they're gonna announce it and release it quite quickly after, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like a short 3-6 month turnaround.
Yeah. So even if they announced it, say,
None.
next October 2024, but release date
欲
is
しいも
like
の
November.
何
So I'll probably go for the far end of 2024. Hopefully, fingers crossed. That's my prediction. Third edition. Everyone jumping on this Alan Strange thing.
I've started them off now, haven't I?
もうし
え
Bring back Baisha. I'm for that one.
Yeah, I'm for that as well.
I'd love to see that. Especially if they worked on some stuff, then it would be like, just finish it.
Shenmue 4 Alan Strange edition. Do it.
Alan Strange
Do it
edition.
now. Shenmue 4 Goro edition.
Renners, that would be sick.
Would be cool, wouldn't it?
Like a four-year cycle is
す
like
みません
おう
about right, I think, between games.
顔に傷
Yeah,
この胴元だな
4 or 5 years.
ん
Hey,
何か言ったか？
Cupertino,
Hey,
welcome,
Cupertino.
man.
聞きたい
なん
ゴロつきを見た人を探してる
Thinking 2024, 2025
その
myself.
人は
If
どこに
currently in development, that's the thing. If they're
Ah.
currently working on it, then yeah,
手合わせ
あ
I
あ
think that's
俺に勝ったら教えてやるぜ
kind of where it needs to be. Otherwise, you start to get
Yarimasu.
down that sort of like, oh, it's a
You get
bit
worried
too
then,
long
don't you?
between games. Yeah. Especially if they need a fifth game as well.
やるな
So at that rate, then you're talking 2030, aren't you? The fifth game.
Yeah.
強えなお
There we go. And
やるな
he's
兄ちゃ
saying
ん
Shenmue 3 was the most
Yeah.
beautiful.
俺もちっと
Why
昔昔を
is the
思い出
question.
したぜ
I'm interested because
Oh.
new fans I find
それで
probably
ゴロつき
less
を見た人は
Yeah.
どこに
harsh on Shenmue
お
3
うそうだっ
than
たな
some of the old
課
school
長風
fans.
月をやってる
Obviously,
胴元だよ
everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm just interested to know why. What made Shenmue 3
What do you mean,
more
like less
beautiful than the
partial? Does
others?
that mean like
飲んでて相席しただけだか
they
ら
they enjoy it more?
I find
So this guy.
newer fans are less harsh on it in that they
Yeah. Yeah.
will, I think,
I
give
agree
it
with
a
that.
bit more, I don't know, a bit more of a wide berth maybe? I don't know. I mean,
I
we've
think
been,
it's like the modern day gamer picking up the original two games. They probably do feel a bit stiff and janky. So 3 feels better to like a modern day gamer, perhaps.
so
When did the final DLC version 3
it
come
was
out?
2020.
Yeah.
They had a concept video for Shenmue 4 available in 2020, and we know that because Cedric told me in an interview. So
Yeah. Pitch video.
yeah.
So they worked on something at that point, but whether or not they continue to work on that since, I'm not sure. We'd hope
こ
so.
こで魔法の鍛錬ができるなやっていくか
It was actually the pandemic that caused some issues with the pitch, right?
Yeah, it did.
Because they had
like,
meetings
getting out
and
there
meetings were
around.
cancelled and all that sort of stuff.
分かっ
はい
Yeah, it was
Okay.
more difficult
た
to.
励めよ
わかりまし
Okay, Chris, one of my colleagues said he saw you, Suzuki, at the TGS
すみません。
cafeteria with Joel. I love
修
Joel.
行じゃ
Joel
さて
Test.
どちら
A lot of time for Joel. We speak to him a lot, and he's probably the primary reason we got the interview that we did with Wisenet and Yu Suzuki around Air
よ
Twister.
かろ
I have a
今の
ton of
気候
time
の
for
力で
Joel.
は ベニトラが
Yeah,
良い相手じ
there's
ゃろ
nothing else I can say. Really good
I was
lad.
saying, Matt, when you think about how long he's been working there now, it's like 8 years,
Yeah, it's a long time.
if not longer. Over 8 years now. Crazy. This game they released, which is out on Apple Arcade, it's not really a lot of the game making time, to be honest. The lights are still on at Wisenet, so they are working on something big.
たありがとう
Hopefully.
これに
We know that they've
すみません
lost a floor,
さて
something.
どちら
Yes, so Wisenet were over 2 floors, but have then since downsized back to 1. Don't know why,
サンダ
but
な
they've
ら
obviously been working on an Air Twister, and they've got another project going which they've already confirmed.
Hopefully it's just like management of resources and make a bit of money from renting out something that they're not really using for the time being. Don't know. Magic this picked up on the Pure Imagination song.
It's because it
Retro says,
basically
I
is.
wonder if it basically isn't it? Yeah. Retro Godfather says, I wonder if the publisher of Air Twister, obviously NN Games, would publish Shenmue 4. Just might be a little bit too out of their league. Do you think, Matt?
I don't think they've got the revenue streams to do it. I've sat down and had a look. I don't think they have. They're really cool though in
It would be
games.
nice, yeah.
Like
really
they've
nice
been
group of people.
very friendly, very helpful. Lot of time for them there. Yeah, I can't be more complimentary of them actually. They've been really good.
There's a hot take for you, Matt. Shenmue 4 should just be an Air Twister style on rail shooter.
Wow, Shenmue 3 could have been a Telltale rail sort of game, couldn't it?
I guess so, yeah. 2 million.
Let's do another spot.
Yeah, I suppose that's a good point. It was 2020. That DLC was released 2020, but I imagine most of the DLC stuff was finished at launch and cut out the base game. Potentially. Yeah, that was sort of like, is that like a Deep Silver kind of deal?
I think it probably was,
reckon?
because it's very much a modern thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now that's an interesting question. Where do we expect Shenmue 4 to be announced?
Ooh.
I've got one answer.
How about...
Shenmue Dojo
How
Street.
about... that would be cool. I was going to say, how about the Liquor Comics and Games Convention 2023?
That'd work.
Why not? That works. But hopefully, like a big stage again. Like, I don't know if there is ever going to be another E3. I know they keep cancelling them and coming back and then cancelling them. And well, if there is ever another E3, that would be a cool one
That would be insane,
to
wouldn't
jump on.
Or like a
But I suppose your
Gamescom,
next
maybe?
best one is like, yeah, I mean, Gamescom, that one that's just been and gone didn't really do it for me. Like, I don't know if it was that amazing.
That stream was a piece of shit. I'm sorry. It's awful.
Exactly. But, you know, maybe something like that, maybe Summer Games Fest, maybe the Game Awards. These are the sort of shows that everyone's watching these days, aren't they?
Yeah.
Better or worse, but as long as it's on a good stage, I'd be happy. Like if it's just sort of shadow dropped announced, goes under the radar a bit.
Yeah.
I think Shenmue deserves a bit more than that. I think it deserves a good stage setting.
Get the level up and then carry on. It does. It
Like,
deserves a good
it'd be
setting.
cool actually if, you know, like that kind of moment again that we got for Shenmue 3, but like Yu Suzuki just walking out and, you know, shaking Jeff Keighley's hand, having a little bit of a chat with Jeff Keighley. Seeing as though fucking Jeff Keighley's on does everything, so
And then just whacks out Shenmue 4.
yeah, yeah.
Release tomorrow. Bam. What?
Mental.
I'd be like, sorry, work. I'm
sick.
not coming in. I am playing Shenmue 4 goodbye.
I've got a bug. Shenmue bug. Shenmue Dojo one random stream, Jim. Hey guys, one more thing.
That's with the Shenmue 4 announcement. So
Yeah,
funny, wouldn't
Shenmue
it?
4 announcement. God. I don't think we'd be the best place to announce Shenmue 4 actually. You could do with a bit of a bigger audience than us. It's 5 people
You know,
in that, eh?
it's really 5 people. Do you know, like, the sad act that I am, I have like already envisaged how I'd love to like announce something like that on one of our streams. If we knew about it and we were going to be part of it, I know how I'd do it, or at least have an idea in my head.
What's that?
I'm not going to say here. Just spoil it.
You're not going to say?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it in case it does come to fruition and people know what the fuck's going on. A Shenmue novel could work. It could. I mean, we talked about this in the Q&A podcast that we did, that Cedric's obviously published 2 mangas. So if you're going to publish a Shenmue manga, surely that would be an avenue to explore.
That's a great suggestion, I thought. When we were talking about Shenmue the manga, Cedric Biscay, he's like literally making his own manga, isn't he, with that chess manga? I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Blitz. You know, if he's still connected to Shenmue somehow, co-producer, you think be a no-brainer actually, wouldn't you?
I'd love.
You think they consider that?
I don't know. I might ask. Cedric, what do you reckon?
Like, I guess the first 2 games it might be difficult to sort of adapt them to manga because you've got to go through Sega, and I suppose to a certain extent you've got to go through Sega for a Shenmue 3 adaptation, but
or Deep Silver.
It would be so cool.
Published it. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, man. Because obviously the anime did it. The anime was allowed to.
Yes.
But the anime wasn't just allowed to do like a retelling of 1 and 2, it also incorporated Shenmue 3 characters, so there was like some sort of agreement there as well.
It did, like quite a lot, and it was very well done, the anime. It sort of fleshed out other characters as well, gave us a bit more backstory, and yeah, I think that a manga, they could also do something like that. I mean, to be honest, they'd have to do some sort of random different take on it, though, to the anime, because I imagine that storyline is obviously copyrighted.
Yeah.
But they could just follow the games, and then Shenmue.
I don't know, because it's like all canon, I suppose.
Yeah.
Although I suppose it depends which canon. Because obviously the anime did take some liberties.
Possibly.
Would be cool. And especially if they went to like someone mentioned there, the original scripts.
Cheers, Chris. Take it easy, man.
Yeah, pick some stuff, because obviously there must be something before the events of Shenmue 1, because we've seen some stuff in the Saturn build.
Yeah. I'm sure they could work something into it.
If they did the boat chapter, Meow Village stuff in the manga, you know, just really flesh everything out, would be really sick. Have like a big shelf full of 1, 2 to 30 something mangas would be sick. Not that I read mangas like, but just thinking about it was making me get a little bit excited. And in fact, we can link that. Hiki's just kind of covered that. It's kind of like the reason why we're bringing this up as well.
Really good topic that Hiki's come out with as well. Fantastically written blog.
Blog posts are actually getting better from Hiki.
She really hit her stride with the last few, I think.
Yeah,
they've been
totally.
really good. Really good.
So yeah, guys, check that out. Link in the chat there. It's the latest blog post on the dojo.
I'll be honest as well, sometimes
We don't really advertise enough, to be honest.
No.
We should advertise that more.
She comes up with topics as well that I'm like, oh, that's a good video. I will borrow that.
Yeah. Cheers, KO. I don't know if we said bye to you. As he's still a bit jet lagged, must have come off a plane, obviously. Good stream, thank you very much. Take care. Sean Hastings, presumably some of those extra stories came from the original game plans. What do you think about that, Matt? Those additional anime stories, do you reckon they were just thought of by the team, or?
They had access to the original scripts. That was confirmed. So it is entirely possible that they adapted
like the Joy storyline, stuff like that. Maybe some of the backstory of Joy, possibly. You leaned into a bit more. Parents dying. Battle Rally 2, Renaissance.
Oh, I'd love Battle Rally 2. If I get time with the streams, I am going to do a Battle Rally stream.
That'd be cool, man. Like a DLC stream.
Yeah. especially Battle Rally. That's a bloody addictive DLC. It's the best one, in my opinion.
Its own game, almost really, isn't it? With the hunting the Bailus, then leveling up your characters.
夜になるとそうだな
It's really fun actually doing that race fighting stuff.
夜にな
へえ
Yeah.
The battle rally.
今日も
そうだな
And if you
今度
complete it, you get
その時は
Chobi-chan.
え
You
Ah.
fight as
Yeah,
fucking
man.
Chobi-chan.
ね
なん
So
だ
cool, so cool.
え
横須賀
あ
横須賀は
Splash Please says Shenmue Side Stories manga would be good. Fill in more info about the WoW, showing
あ友達の
Yasun
ことを思い出すな
story.
村に来る
あ
カツアゲをして
あ
ホットドッグを売っ
そうだ
Yeah, sorry,
あとは
just talking a lot makes it
まあ
tickle. Stories focused on them. That would be
シ
cool.
ェンファの
父は
You could have like a
うん
chapter dedicated to a certain character for a bit.
それに
先生
そう競輪で
Magic,
生き
well,
る
the
ために
serious
必要な
question
ことを
is the full Shenmue story basically
So
out there on the internet.
いい親父さんな
でもね
The chapter tiles that inspire
Mm.
where Shenmue
So
is going are out on the internet, so you can
So
make
ka.
guesses
のみと
as to where it is
Ne.
potentially
Nanda.
going.
寮の
But
音
the actual
So da na.
story, the confirmed story itself, isn't out there yet. You can make some good guesses
いや
around
Yo.
where it's going to
Ah.
go, though.
そうなの
その分
You have actually got the first 7
Demo.
tiles in high definition from
寮
Hmm?
どう
Adam
したの
Scipione.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
So-
mean, if you haven't seen them, this is a good topic from
父の子
Shenson
部屋
about
に
the
あっ
chapter
た
わ
tiles.
からない
あの図面
It's basically the
そうなのか
the overarching storyline for
そうだっ
Shenmue
たので
in
も
image
必
form,
ず
うん
もっと村
which we are planning to do
なんだ
a final lore episode stream on. Actually, Matt, just going through
あ
寮も
everything there. I think that would be pretty cool just to
あ
do an
怖か
episode
ったり
10 of
した
that
らお
series I
で
did.
もそん今は
本当
ああ
Just finding the time to finish it.
Yeah.
I
It
wouldn't
takes
be doing
over,
it this
doesn't
week. And then next week's EGX, so it's probably going to have to be the week after that.
I've got a video
At the
idea
earliest.
to record as well. I need to do some research on it first.
Mm.
I've got 2 video ideas I need to record and do research on.
Cool.
I've got to
A
find the
lot
time
of things in the
for.
pipeline, guys. Find the time to continue to work on issue 3 as well. Too busy all the time, man.
I know, keeps us going.
Tired.
Bit sus.
Working hours, man.
Bit sus all these working hours.
It's horrible. Don't know if you noticed, Matt, I've got me whiskey glass here. That's me. Open University degree
Very nice.
whiskey glass. I picked that up the other day. And funny enough, it says the motto is "Learn and Live," which I thought was quite funny, because if it was the opposite way around, live and
Bit
learn,
Sonic song.
Sonic Adventure 2 song, learn
Yeah.
and live.
I just want to
Learn
know why
and
we're
いってらっし
live.
ゃい
able to fight Landy at the end of Shenmue 3. The simple reason being that you're never going to beat Landy. Ryo can't touch him. I think that we're in March at the start of this game, and the game starts in November. You get your first play in December. So essentially, you've had 4 months of training. And
Yeah.
bearing in mind you can't touch Ewing, how the fuck is he going to touch Landy? He's not. He's nowhere near.
You couldn't
Not
touch
even
Landy.
close.
November, he couldn't touch Landy at the end of November. Talking February, maybe. Chewing, you couldn't touch. Now you're coming into April here, there's no chance.
No, not in a million years. He was never ever going to land a hit on him, ever.
Like, Shenmue 3 is kind of like the training arc of the story. Where he's learning all these Baji-Quan moves. Essentially,
今
puts
忙
up
し
a
いんだ
decent fight against Landy.
Landy's just toying with him the entire time. Now I know the mechanics make it look less impactful than it was, although the motion capture scenes for the cutscenes are really well done. I will say that. Larry flips that kick over his foot, over his arm, and bam in his
Love
face.
that.
I love that.
Yeah.
見慣れないやつが村に来なかったか
Retro Godfather next week is EGX.
Yes.
It's London. What's that place called?
わかったよ
Excel. And yes, I can turn
Yeah,
my mic
the
up.
Excel Centre.
There we
Excel
are.
Centre.
Bit better.
So next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going on the Friday.
Yep.
It looks quite good this year as well. You've got quite a lot of Sega
Sonic.
activity. You've got both the Yakuza games playable. Sonic Superstars, was there?
Yes,
Playable.
Sonic Superstars was there.
Looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it. And I haven't been to EGX. I didn't go last year either because I was in Florida at the time.
It's really good, really good, guys. And if it's the same as last year, they had like a whole area dedicated to like the history of consoles. And they had a few arcade machines hooked up, like
ここにいたの
Outrun,
か
Space Area, which was crazy. But they had like every retro console that you could think of, like stuff that I didn't know the name of. Like we were there with Scribe, and he was coming out with like what was he? Oh, you weren't there, but he was coming out with like the FM Towns, Marty Towns or something, whatever it's called, that console, and just some random consoles, man. Really
Some
cool
rare-
to see
some
and
rare
play them.
shit.
Like the Apple Pippin. It's just a good time. They've got like gaming market stalls as well, so like you can maybe pick up some retro games.
That's dangerous. That's very
ここにいた
dangerous.
のか
I got a couple of like Mega CD games last year.
見つかっちゃった。
他の子はどこにいるんだ
And then you've just got like a lot of indie devs that are there as well, trying to show off their games. It's quite fun to play. We played like quite an Outrun inspired game, actually.
Oh yeah.
Forget the name of it, but it was quite fun.
Guys, can I check if my mic is loud enough? I can give it a bit more, but I'm just wary of overpowering everything.
Yeah. Whose mic is way too low?
Mine, I think,
Same?
is
Magic
too
button?
low. It's fine.
Sounds just fine.
Can you get a ticket on the door? You
ここ
can.
にい
Your
たの
mic
か
sounds louder. Okay. Maybe I'm just too close to my mic. Sorry, guys.
あと一人だな
FM Towns Marty, that's the one. I did almost say that, didn't I? I said FM
Yeah.
Towns Marty. Like that. It didn't sound right as it was coming out my mouth. What a strange name of a console. But yeah, it'd be cool if you're there, Retro. I'd like to meet you.
Should be a good little meetup.
And there's already quite a lot of Shenmue fans going. There's me, Paddy, Scribe, Matt. I think Stuart's going. Who else is
There we are.
going?
That's
We've
bad.
got Rio X. Rio X is going.
Should be a good day out. We're quite looking forward to it.
ちえ、見つかっちゃった。
Cheap, I think, is
約
going.
束だぞゴロつきのことを教えてくれ
知らないおじさん2人がこの家に入っていくのを見たんだ。
どんな奴らだった
頭がツルツルで大きな雲の絵が描いてあった。
Oh, cool.
シュ
Retro's
ウさん
going
や
now.
王さんの家に来た奴らか早くみんなのところへ行くんだ
Very good.
うん。
Excellent.
If I can find
You'll
you.
find us. We'll be around. We'll probably
Find
put
us. Yeah.
some stuff on our Twitter or whatever as to what we're
なんだこの
doing.
荒らされ方は
I'm going to take some
You
videos on
wearing,
the
you
day.
wearing your dojo shirt, Matt, or not?
Dojo shirt, hoodie, trousers, hat,
I
tattoo.
might take my Rio Rio jacket actually. I think I did wear a Rio Hazuki hoodie last year, did I? Maybe.
I don't
think I did.
Excuse me, I wasn't there last year.
Yeah, I think I did.
写真これは手がかりになるかもしれない
Yeah, so look out for the Ryozuki hoodie. It's awkward though, like I found at the Sonic Symphony show, there was like a few people like I semi-recognised, but I didn't.
Yeah, like from Twitter or whatever.
I wasn't confident enough to like, you know, definitely say that they were that person until I asked. No.
We had a good chat with Danny Russell, didn't we?
Yeah, I was going to say we
Great,
actually saw Danny Russell at the Sonic event, which is cool.
Probably
really nice guy.
Good half an hour chat with him.
これは人の名前
Yeah, really nice guy.
何かの名
Yeah, totally sound guy. A lot of time for Danny. Works really hard on preservation for Sega as well.
He's what they need more of,
Mhm,
you know,
definitely.
working for Sega.
見つけたものを村の人に
Some of the
見せて
stuff
み
he
よ
was
う
doing with Shenmue Forever.
わかるかもしれ
And
ない
there's been those articles about Shenmue Forever recently, aren't there? Not Shenmue
Oh,
Forever.
Sega Forever.
Sega Forever.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Because it's like being half shut down or something, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like Sega's not having
Ignoring-
very good PR at the moment, are they? They've
No.
obviously just cancelled that Hyenas game, which is a bit of an uproar on Twitter and
Apparently cost
Everywhere.
more money than Shenmue to make, and they cancelled it. And they could have funded Shenmue 4, 5, and 0
yeah,
and got some
which is
money back.
mental. Got
But
loads
did
of money
they?
back,
ちょっと
Fuck.
いいかな
私ですか？もしかして
and they're not going to see any of the money back for Hyenas at all, which is crazy, isn't it?
It's all been pissed up a post.
えああ
Such a shame. Not that I was like overly excited by it either, but I'm sure some people would be, right? Or at least something to make a little bit of money back.
Problem is, if they release it and it's crap, they get hammered. If they release it and it's successful, they're like, oh shit.
Mm.
Sega and money don't mix.
Yeah.
Sega and
they
good
haven't even given
decisions
it a
don't
chance,
mix.
have they? That's the problem. Well, they've given it the beta. Maybe they just decided that not enough people were playing the beta. I don't know.
It wasn't that well received, the beta.
Hmm.
But it
I
was,
mean, you can
it was
kind of understand it then, can't you? It's like they don't want to, you know, lose any more money on it, I guess.
the problem they've got as well is that they keep chasing trends too late. Like fighting games are in a massive boom at the moment. Virtua Fighter 6 should be among that, but they'll release it in 2
Yep.
years where it's then the fighting like craze is dead, and they'll wonder why it makes no money.
Yeah. Which is crazy as well. And then they're just randomly just releasing like Fighting Vipers 2 again within another game.
I'll never understand it. I really won't.
Like Fighting Vipers could be a good game to bring back as well.
Fighters
Vipers
Megamix.
3, Fighters Megamix 2, imagine. I think actually we were talking about this. I don't know if it was last stream or a few streams ago. A Fighters Megamix
そうか
lineup. So obviously you could have Kiryu Kazuma in there, Ryo. Like Sega have got plenty of amazing characters to make a good
Hundreds.
fighting game now.
Oh yeah, hundreds.
Especially since the Saturn era.
すいません
何
You
あ
know?
んた暇
いえ
うちの子の
いや
But then, you know, if they put Rio in a fighting game, people will start going Shenmue
Yeah.
4, Shenmue 4, which I get.
True.
これなんです
Yeah,
よ
yeah.
わからない他で聞いて
そうです
Well, if they do anyone, like if they did like Beat from Jet Set Radio, it'd be like, oh, you know, they're working on another Jet Set Radio game, or
聞きたい
忙しい
I don't know how they got away with those Sega All-Stars games, really, without anyone jumping
I
to
don't know.
conclusions with them.
Hey, Tad, welcome in.
Hey, Tad. Yeah, they must have lost so much money. Does it actually give a number for how much money they spent on hyenas, or is it just?
I don't know if it's like Shenmue's got $70 million over it.
Yeah, so it's got to be like 100 million, you reckon?
Yeah, it's got to be more than Shenmue. What's going around?
I mean, look
Which
at
is
the amount of money
insane.
they spent on that Rovio company.
Was it $1 billion or was it more than that?
2 billion, I feel like. Has anything actually happened from that yet?
They completed it recently, so I don't know.
Like, does Angry Birds make much money these days?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
And do they get like residuals from like old stuff, like an old film?
They might well do.
The old
Like
one.
sales and things like that.
Yeah. Who's Shu again? That's you. Not just a random stonemason.
Yeah, he's one of.
Is he the other guy that's captured or not?
Yeah, he's the other old guy that gets captured with him.
Yeah. Angry Birds generated 317.7 million euros in revenue last year. Bloody hell.
Jesus Christ. What's that about?
So
$350 million?
So if that maintains, then we'd only have to, what, like wait 6 years to pay back the original investment?
I mean, they must be confident in the idea. It's also they're getting all the infrastructure of mobile technology, which they haven't got at Sega at the moment.
Yeah. In fact, they just shut down all of those Sega Forever games, haven't they? I managed to download them actually. If you've got them on your phone, or at least the icon, they do still download.
Not for long.
Not for long though. But yeah, I've actually got them all. Oh. Can't. Why is that not working, Matt?
I don't know.
What do you have to do to get the phone to?
Stick your hand behind it and see if it works. Because sometimes that'll bring it into focus.
I don't know. That's so weird. I'm sure I've shown my phone before.
Thanks, Strange But True. Glad to have you in.
This fucking camera. It's like
Fuck
not
it.
changing focus at all.
Did you turn your autofocus off on your camera?
I did, didn't I? You're right. That'll be why. Just imagine about 20 Sega titles. I'm just showing you there on my phone. The main one I was like trying to show off was Afterburner Climax, because that is kind of like a dead game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Excuse me.
Really good game actually, Afterburner Climax. I've still got it on my 360 as well, which is lucky, because I know like
That
you
got
can't
pulled, didn't
download
they?
it for that anymore. Yeah. Oh, cheers. Strange but true. Appreciate that.
I can't believe Angry Birds generated that amount of money. That's insane.
Crazy, isn't it? It's a crazy amount of money. For like a series that I haven't really heard anyone mention.
Not for years. And it's still that popular.
Yes.
それで、
Yeah.
ジョさんは
姿が見えません
Is it popular with like elderly people or is it still kids?
It must be kids.
Mm.
何か
It's had 2 films, hasn't it?
この赤い線。エンさん、
Probably.
ジョさん、そ
I'm
れ
not
に
sure I've
私
seen
の
either.
名に引いてある。
No, I haven't.
この
Not for
線を引
shit.
いてないのは
Definitely not my sort of thing.
まだ襲われていない石堀氏。
The reason I say like elderly people is because I know you were like into, was it Crush? What's that? Candy Crush.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. My mum got into Candy Crush. So...
I mean, when did Angry Birds first come out? You're getting into bloody retro territory, aren't you now?
Oh, God, yeah.
With the first Angry Birds, I bet. It was like 2009
I had that
or
on
something.
my, I think, on my S2 or S3. I can't. A long time ago.
One of the first iPhones, wasn't it? Let me have a look. Angry Birds.
I think you're right.
What would you say? Angry Birds 1?
Yeah.
すみません
Yeah, 2009. Bloody hell, was bang on with that, wasn't I? So, 14 years ago.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, if there was someone that was playing it and they were 6, they're like in the 20s now. That's scary, isn't it?
Hey, Chili Hippo, have there been any recent discoveries hinting at secret development of Shenmue 4? Unfortunately, not.
はあ
But Yu Suzuki is attending a random games convention in Italy called Luca Games Convention. Don't know why, but he's there.
Probably Air Twister. But check it out.
そうなんですか
Something that blew my mind was when Ryo found in the temple information about his mother, Akane Hazuki.
Yes.
I want to see the importance of her role in Shenmue 4. I wonder if we will ever find anything else about his mum. I don't know.
技書と交換か
Probably not.
It's a nice little nod though, isn't it? Like from Iwao Hazuki to like leave a message to Ryo's mother. That's what I love about Shenmue is like the sort of the timeline, because you're thinking like that happened. That was an event that actually happened here 20 years ago.
母さんに会い
Ryo's father leaving that message, and Ryo's not even 20, he's like 18, so it's like something that happened before he was
すいませ
born.
ん
It's crazy, isn't it?
He's just sort of discovering it for the first time. Tad says if that's the case with Angry Birds, it makes you wonder why they went with such a high-risk gamble in hyenas.
Because they're stupid.
留守母さんは大体
そうですか
Maybe they just funded it with that year's supply of Angry Birds money.
They do
317
weird
million.
things. Like, I get Shenmue's profitability is in question. I understand that. But then to ignore something like Shenmue and then throw 6 years of development down the pisser, I will never
Yeah.
understand it.
すみません石堀氏の母さんはいませんか
I just don't get it.
Bloody mad, aren't they? They are mad.
少し前にゴロツキがこの
Like, I respect some of the stuff that they're doing. Like, they're trying to bring back some of these old franchises. They are, you know, like Samadi Mega.
一人は頭に雲の入れ墨が
Just had a new release.
But like within
It's had
respect,
3 actually, I think.
is that going to sell gangbusters? No. Is that going to make profit?
imagine it.
I don't know.
No. I know they're doing these music packs, but I feel like no one's talking about it already.
法教
It's not to say it's not done well. I don't know,
確
but
かに法
Yeah,
教
it
と
could
言
be
ったんです
a good hit. I think they were trying to sort of jump into that Just Dance market.
石堀氏を探しているんです
Mm.
他に誰か知りませんか
なぜ石堀氏を
ゴロツキたちは
Project Bait, the trailer shows too much of what Shenmue 4 is about.
it does show a lot. Depending on
It does show a lot, but it depends if they're actually going to use any of that, or if it is canon. We still don't really know if any of that's canon.
あの連中に
We don't know what's changed. Like Shenmue Online, that trailer, I maintain at the time that was canon,
あ
but it got
I reckon it's
changed.
canon. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good question for you there, Matt. Strictly Sega Europe. Shenmue Zero, a WoW, is he a foe or a hero?
What if he's both?
Oh, how does that work?
So that he starts off as a hero, like on some noble cause, but gets twisted and then becomes the foe. It's that. Because can you imagine if a WoW did it cold-blooded, just killed him? It's not to say
It feels
did.
unlikely to me. It does feel unlikely though.
I
Feels
think
like, unless that's a big twist, but it does feel to me like he's a good guy.
a WoW did it. He killed him, but I think he killed him because he had to. And then Landy's been manipulated. That's what I think.
It's the sort of stuff we need to find out about.
I know, like, this shit's the sort of shit that we should hopefully find out in a Shenmue 4. But I suppose there's another question with Shenmue 4, and we've talked about this a lot, and I think it's been on stream a lot, is whether it should end it or not. I know we don't want it to, but realistically, do we think we could get a 5th game given the history of the series?
I think we can get a 5th game. But I think we can get a 4th game. Which I suppose is already saying something.
A 4th game's
very
doable.
optimistic.
And it's easier to complete the series in a 4th game because you're that much closer in terms of chapter tiles. A WoW took the blame from Alan Stroh, for fuck's sake.
It's going to become a reoccurring meme, that, isn't it?
Oh, it is,
Alan
isn't
Strange.
it? Oh, I don't care. Do you know what? Fuck it. Everybody's
Someone
having a
make
good
some
time.
box art. Make the Alan Wake 2 box art, but it's called Alan Strange, and it's like Matt turning around with a flashlight. Whatever, it's like the front of the cover.
Do it. You got to have a laugh at these. Everyone's having a good time, so it doesn't matter, does it?
Do we know much about Rio's mum? We just know he died. She died of an illness when he was 3. I think that is
That's all we really know.
all we really know. Yeah, the only bit of lore we know. Not sure what illness. Maybe that's why I was trying to get that eternal life thing to work. Elixir of eternal youth.
I like the episodic idea. You guys did a video about one game, but we get several story DLCs with full chapters until the stories are. It was quite a divisive video, that one.
It was a bit, yeah. A lot of
Quite-
people were against that idea, but I still stand by it being a decent idea, actually. Because, and I know we talked about this before, but I just think Shenmue kind of works because it has so many areas.
It's got natural points.
It's got natural transitions and it's got natural, chapters. There is 11 chapters, so why not have an episode per chapter?
Exactly.
And I don't think a lot of like the negative feedback for it is kind of warranted, because it's like, what if it's not successful? But then it's like,
What if Shenmue 4 is not successful? I guess the argument
if
is
Shenmue-
4 you
yeah.
can finish it. With Episodic you can't. But the initial outlay with Episodic is essentially less.
there's
We'll
less
see.
risk involved, would you say? You're just doing a chunk.
Yeah,
I don't know.
potentially.
Is there more
Potentially.
risk? I don't know.
It was a very. I had to do a video on the comments from it to sort of respond to them a little bit. It's quite an interesting topic. I should do more of those actually. I just haven't got the time.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Got a question for you then, Matt. What do you think is more demanding to make? A full game like Air Twister, or an episode of Shenmue 4?
Oh, a full episode of Shenmue 4 is far more demanding. If you've got to rig up characters fighting, cutscenes.
Right, okay. So even one episode is still...
Yeah, all day. It's far more labour intensive. But they have a lot of the groundwork for Shenmue 4, so it might negate some of it.
So I was just thinking, like, if they could do an episode in the same amount of time that they spent on Air Twister and create like a full game, Air Twister or whatever the next project is, a full game of that. Could have these bite-sized chunks. You know, they're willing to sort of publish and release a game like Air Twister that hasn't got any sort of IP attached to it, any sort of branding. It's like a brand new thing, and they're willing to risk that, and hopefully that does well. Whereas like Shenmue 4 Episode 1 has a fan base, has a brand, you know, it's guaranteed sales. But obviously you're saying that it's more demanding than Air Twister to produce.
I think so. But I mean, I'm not qualified in this line of work. I don't know. If anybody is qualified in this, would you be satisfied if Shenmue 4 was focused solely on the story without any mini-games or side quests? Yes, I would, but I think they're just, from their point of view, if they copy and pasted in what's in Shenmue 3, not a problem.
Yeah. Obviously you get people criticising that.
Yeah, and that's...
No new mini-games.
It's not unjust, is it, in criticising that? But...
Yeah.
If it saves money and it means that more goes into the story content, I have no problem with it at all. But Shenmue 4, and I've said this repeatedly, and I'm going to say it again and again and again, Shenmue 4 has to smash the story. Whether it's going to finish it or whether we're going to go to a Shenmue 5, it has to nail the story. It has to fill in a lot of gaps. If it doesn't, I think we are fucked as a community. Straight up.
I mean, in theory, there was maybe too many mini-games in Shenmue 3. You could have focused more on the story than, like, you know, you said this in the past with, like, whatever the like, marble gamers. You know, all those 2 or 3 arcades that they got in Niaowu. You've stripped some of that out and just focus more on the actual story. Even if you're only talking 2 or 3 more cutscenes.
They've got a very hard balance with Shenmue 4. They need to balance it with the story, but they need to give us some of the slice of life stuff that makes Shenmue what it is. But they also, for me, need to like smash, like they need to open it big time. So Shenmue 4 has to have like a big opening, like that captures people immediately. For me, it can't.
It's difficult. It's difficult to do that now because the start of 4 is basically going to be the end of 3, isn't it? So it's like, was the end of 3?
Yeah.
Big enough to warrant, you know, an audience to be like, wow.
But
I don't know.
Could you, like, in theory, with Shenmue 4, can you imagine, like, an assault on the Cliff Temple as the opening? So you get your fighting tutorials in there and all of that in there nice and early, and you have a proper assault on the Cliff Temple, and it ends with an event, like a big event. Like, I was discussing this with somebody on the forums. Like, Zimming turns up, or Ren dies, or something massive that gets your buy-in from the moment you're off, and then... I could see that working, personally.
There was a point in there from Tad that Episodic does and can work, but Telltale spaced it out too much with Walking Dead 2. Walking Dead Season 2. Yeah. I mean, when we were talking about the episodic stuff, we weren't, although it's like easy to compare it to Telltale stuff, in terms of gameplay and everything, we're not suggesting a Telltale style game. You know, we're still suggesting a Shenmue 3 type of game, like Bailu Village, as it is and is now. But that is your first episode, and the Yaoi would be your second episode of Shenmue 3.
I can't take full credit for that, Retro Godfather. One of the people on the forum, username Wu Ying Reng, I talk to quite regularly. We were talking about just sort of throwing ideas around, sort of where it came from. It's not wholly my idea, I will say that immediately. But I think it's a good one. I think if you did something like that nice and early, really got that buy-in, and you're hooked. Like Shenmue 2, it doesn't do it to that extent, but you have a fight within the first 20 minutes, you get your bag nicked, you end up in a free fight. You get a QTE sequence pretty early on. It sets the pace. Shenmue 4's opening needs to set the pace.
Yeah, there isn't much pace at the start of Shenmue 3, is there?
No, like now I'm into it and I'm moving things forward, but like that, and bearing in mind this is somebody who knows the game, has played it a lot, so I know beat to beat to beat where to go. But if you don't, the first couple of hours can be quite sluggish.
Well, even so, the story isn't exactly gripping, is it? At this point, it's like we're looking for stonemasons. There isn't like a real drive to the story at this moment. Obviously, it's trying to find out where Shenhua's father is, but just sort of fanning about in the village, aren't you, for the most part?
Smashing through this a little bit, which is good.
We got a message from Chili Hippo. I believe that to secure Shenmue 4 and 5, it will require additional support from Sega to increase its popularity amongst younger generations. I think integrating the characters into other games like Virtua Fighter or Like a Dragon could significantly help in achieving this goal. And we have kind of mentioned that before, you know, it was crazy that they did Yakuza DLC in Virtua Fighter 5 or whatever, but the game that it was like originally based on, they don't have a Ryo Hazuki character in Virtua Fighter, which is mental.
It's weird, isn't it?
Cliff Temple to Baisha to the train adventure.
We're doing time-wise.
Oh, I love fight against Chio Monster. I would love something like that, you know.
Rio adopts Supersonic and then fights him on the water of Station Square.
Just something crazy. I'm all for something weird like that to happen. Like the Shenmue Online trailer. I just want something like that to happen.
Yeah. What I think Yu Suzuki needed with Shenmue 3 is more time and money, really. And I think also when you look at the scope of the project, I did a video on this, the scope on the project itself was humongous. So could they, and this is probably more of an argument than the final product of the game, because what we've got in terms of the game, in terms of the breadth of systems and things that are here, is astounding for the money that they've spent. But could that money have been more focused? That's a fair question, I think, around the project. So
I reckon it could be. I reckon they could have had 2 smaller areas rather than, you know, these 2 massive. You know, like Bailu Village probably wasn't going to be this big originally. So they could have had like a tighter Bailu Village, a tighter Niaoui was meant to be like a small port town, and then they could have had enough funds and budget and time and scope to create the Baisha that was like heavily talked about in the Kickstarter and.
It was the big selling point. Big selling point, wasn't it, of the Kickstarter? It was
Baisha. And maybe that could have been where like most of the story was fleshed out more, and you know they could have had this massive climax that would have left a craving cliffhanger. We haven't really got a craving cliffhanger.
No, and that's part, I think, of the issue. That with 2 had such a big cliffhanger that it was like, we need to find out what happens. With Shenmue 3, it doesn't have that big cliffhanger. It has a cliffhanger, but not a massive one. And that's...
Yeah. it has a
potentially an
cliffhanger,
issue.
but it's also still just the people that want to find out what happens next is still because of the Shenmue 2 cliffhanger, in a sense. You know, there's stuff there that's like unresolved. It's not so much what is the new stuff that was in Shenmue 3. It's still sort of the old stuff that we still want resolved. You know, like Shuing's brother, and the yin and yang pendant, that kind of a thing. We want to see the resolution of that.
On a side note, this is one of my favourite cutscenes in 3. Love this. This is
nice.
proper Shenmue, isn't it? I wish we had more like this. I really do.
See, I do like this cutscene, but at the time when it was happening, I was confused. Like, why is there another Shenmue tree?
Yeah, that did make me go a bit, but...
True. RC2's
Yeah.
got cut. There was a couple of little mini games like that. That little cow one as well.
Yeah. There was loads that
Maiden story got cut.
they didn't get in the game, which is a shame.
そうじゃったか。それにしてもよく似ておる。
I mean, I don't know if it's bad writing as such, like they could have done with better writers, or is it just simply they could have just done with another year, and that writing would have.
I've said this.
Shape more.
I've said this from the offset. I wish they'd have had somebody on the dev team who is like a Shenmue lore expert,
Yeah.
and they go to them and go, "We're thinking of doing this. Does this line up?" And you go, "Yes, no, whatever."
Continuity.
Yeah, continuity. That's the
Manager.
word I'm looking for. Yeah.
乱定が。
乱定を知ってるんですか
But like what Clunky Major's saying there, actually, Rio not having the mirror is a big change, massive change to the status quo. The execution of it, I accept, absolutely accept. Is not, I think, the way that even Wisenet want to do it. Bearing in mind, when he's interviewed about the game himself, he flips between a 6 or a 7 in terms of how he rates it out of 10 himself, which is about where the reviews ended up. So he knows this. He knows.
Yeah, I think he really wanted Baishi. You know, I think Baishi was his ideal sort of. This is where the story is going to happen. It's this big story stuff, and then they kind of had to like nerf the game almost because of the deadline. And slap together that castle stuff, which
Well, we know the ending to 3 got changed,
yeah.
and that came from
Like,
Cedric.
I reckon Niao Sun was going to be a lot more powerful of an introduction than she is.
万願寺って
万願寺はこの村に古くからあるお寺。
Like I didn't mind too much the big reveal
先へ行ったところ。
and the sort of like disguise
I did.
failing, whatever her name
It
is.
just needed more of it. It did like more as to why and the manipulation around Shenhua and Rio and all of that stuff. Had it had that, I think that reveal would have been more impactful.
Like she could have been quite a brutal character, like really deceiving Shenhua. And you don't really see that. Obviously, she does convince Shenhua to follow her or whatever and kidnaps her. But there's no real relationship building there enough to.
And she's not planting seeds in there, and that's the thing. And she's like known, if you think back to those videos, she's deceptive.
Yeah.
She preys on people's
Seductive.
weaknesses and the like. So it's, again, I think it was a missed opportunity. Ooh, excuse me.
Metal Gear Solid 4 had multiple writers. That was a complete mess. Why was that like a case of too many cooks spoil the broth?
I think it was a little bit. I didn't mind Metal Gear Solid 4, but I know it got hammered by... Where did I get the info that the ending changed? March 2020, so over COVID, Cedric Biscay did a Q&A on Facebook, and he talked about the Shenmue 3 development as part of this Q&A, and he mentioned within that the ending to Shenmue 3 had to be changed to get it out in time.
Yeah, hence the castle, the Niawood Castle. And that was in that sort of the Kickstarter update, wasn't it? That was like,
Yeah.
these are the changes these are the stretch goals we kind of met but didn't meet. And one of those said like Baishir is now the old castle. Clunk says things feel in a worse place with how Shenmue 3 left it. Both mirrors are lost. Landy got away again, and the Sun is rising to power. Yeah. I mean, a lot has changed. It's just like you say, Mike, it was like in the last 5 minutes of the game.
It's just the execution. It's the execution. It needed more time in the oven, really. But as I said, I think the project could have been more focused on certain things to allow some of that expansion around why these things happen. But they've got the systems now in Shenmue 4. Like, if it happens, they've got the systems. They've got it all here. They need to use it. They need to be sensible and not go down the road of redoing things again. Use what you got. Smash the story. Polish what you got here. And I think the community would be happy.
See, there's scenes like this as well that's like... They plant the seeds, but they don't really elaborate. Like, she's just talking about... Like, she knows a WoW. She's seen a WoW in Zhao Ming train, but then she doesn't know anything. It's like... It's like...
That's the thing.
One day they stopped
Like, why?
showing.
Yeah, why did they stop coming?
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
No context. And Rio doesn't even ask the question, does he? He doesn't say like, well, why do you know why they stopped coming? You know, what happened? Did it look like they were having a fight or anything like that, or?
Yes.
See, I love these cutscenes. I love these Verdant Bridge things, but again, it's not really explained. And I know they're trying to make out that the characters are so young that they don't remember, but it's like no kind of real point to it then that they don't remember, because then you're not getting any answers. See, for me, my favourite part of this is that it ties into the story that Yoichi-san says in Shenmue 1. That's
About
like the
the
best
Emperor
thing.
Commissioning these. And
But beyond that, you
ties all
don't
the way
actually learn
through.
anything anymore, do you, really?
No.
You know, since, because obviously I've been doing the lore streams, this envoy guy, who I'm assuming is the guy in the black in the middle, he's the one that's come on behalf of the Emperor, Bailu Village, to get these stone mirrors created, to then take back to the Emperor or whatever. But the Emperor's not actually in this envoy. Because when I heard the word envoy first, I was thinking more like a convoy, you know, like the word convoy that's like a group of people. But in this sense, the envoy is like the one person, is like the messenger. And obviously the Emperor in this year is only 2 years old, I think, or 4 years old. I forget what we kind of came to the conclusion.
He wasn't very old, was he?
No.
AM2 Shenmue 3 sure would have resolved all those questions. I'd love to have known what they were going to do with Shenmue in Sega at the time. And like when that 2006 article came out with Adam Dory and everything around Shenmue at the time, I'm convinced that was real. I'm utterly convinced.
Yeah, Clunky says, remember thinking that the Verdant Bridge investigation would lead to a big revelation, but it kind of didn't, right? Which, I mean, I'm still hopeful. And I've got no basis for this to go off of, but I'm hopeful that they go back to Bailu Village. You know, I've said this quite a few times, that the end of 3, they're all on the boat. Shenfor's father's on the boat. the transition from the boat to the Great Wall doesn't make sense. So they kind of the boat must be going back to Bailu Village to drop off Shenfua's father at least. So I'm hopeful that at the start of 4, they'll go back to Bailu Village and they can talk a bit more. Maybe there is the revelation about the Verdant Bridge or whatever, or the envoy or the Emperor. Maybe they can have a proper sit-down chat with Shenfua's father, because that's what we kind of need. That we need a big lore drop, I think. Whether or not that spoils the start of Shenmue 4. You know, you're saying, Matt, that you need like this sort of big wow moment to get players on board, but I personally want a big lore drop, like a big 15-minute cutscene at the start of Shenmue 4 to sort of like iron out all the stuff that they missed in Shenmue 3.
Dwayne Hicks, I'll come on to that in a sec. Ren was meant to be in Bailu Village, but his DLC was canned. Unfortunately, yes, there was a Ren story in Bailu and it was canned. It was found in the code and leftover files of Shenmue 3.
Yeah. Which might make more sense. You know, when you see Ren shove the knife and the Guilin at the end, is that more like saying I'll show up in Bailu Village than it is Niaowu? Is Niaowu a bit random? I don't know. Although Bailu Village takes 2 days to get to, so hey up, Paddy. Bailu Village takes two full days of travelling to get to, but someone managed to carry an oven across 2 mountains.
Ohayo.
Would love to know what Ren was up to in Bailu Village. Was there details on that quest line?
Some, but
just a little
Stuart
bit of dialogue.
Put it in his blog, didn't he?
Let me see if I can find that.
We're going to run for another 15 minutes, by the way, guys, as well. I need to go to bloody bed.
There you go.
On a side point, I love it when it rains in Shenmue 3.
Yeah, it looks quality, doesn't it? Practically.
You can see it or not. But some of the roofs, you can see the water sort of running down as well.
Who's Mei Mei again? Was that the girl in the purple doing the martial arts stuff?
That was Wei Ling, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Who's Mei Mei? Because that's who's talking to Ren in this. Mei Mei.
すいません。聞きたいこと、花橋が。
花橋。
おばあさんなら知ってるだろうと。
なぜじゃ。
橋にまつわるは。
そんなと。
いや。
お前さん、帰って。
お願いします。
聞こえな。お前さん。
どうしても。
Looks like it's just doing like a gambling side quest.
他のお年寄りを当たるしかないか。
And then Ren's chopping wood. Maybe he was meant to be part of like the tutorial. Learning how to gamble, learning how to chop wood.
Ah, damn it, stop raining.
I mean, reading some of this dialogue, it doesn't seem very story heavy for Ren to be showing up in Bailu. It's just like prize stuff. Skill books.
花橋が橋にまついや
確かに
そうですか
わしは
誰か
そうだね陽のおばばか
わかりました
I think Ren was due to be in 3 anyway. You look at the way he throws the dagger at Guilin. I think he was going to be in 3 at some point. It's just, I think the introduction of it wasn't as well done as it could have been, unfortunately. Sitting away from the mic.
You were kind of
why
going
it
for like
gets
a comedic effect with Ren,
Yeah.
weren't they, in Shenmue 3?
It just didn't quite work, I don't think.
Which is like why you've got that little piece of music that plays every time. Ren's theme in Shenmue 3.
Yeah.
Mei Mei's one of Shenhua's friends, I think. Was she the one in the Bailey-chan DLC? That's who I thought, but you said that was Wailing.
Wailing's the martial artist
Yeah.
in the
It's
pink.
Mei Mei then.
なんじゃな。
聞きたいことがあるんです。
Shenmue 3, Mei
どい
Mei.
つもこいつもわしがいないと何もわからんからな。
What's this Shenmue 4 2.5 thing? It's a fan project of somebody's making their own version of Shenmue 4 is in sort of 2.5D, basically. I think the trailer's on our YouTube.
教えてもらえませんか。
Uploaded it earlier.
I'll get the link. I'll get the link for that, yeah.
珍しいことを聞くな。
Yeah, Mei Mei is the prize exchange
どうしても
lady.
というなら教えてやらんでもないが。わしがまだ子供の
In the
頃、
panda
時
market.
の宮廷より使いがこの村に使わされたことがあった。その使いを迎
Is
え
it
る
ready
た
to
めに
play yet?
花
Not
橋が
yet,
新たに掛け替
but
えられた
it's
の
been moving along quietly, is the word I would use.
そう
Yeah, that's the YouTube link there, guys. That's for the Shenmue 4 2.5D fan project. It looks pretty cool.
I did update the YouTube description and title. I think people will go like, "Oh my
Did you?
god, yeah, that wasn't a
Oh,
deliberate
because it
thing."
looked like it was an official announcement.
Yeah, it wasn't intended that way at
Sort
all.
of.
宮廷の使いは何のためにハッカソンに。
Yeah, it's a fan-made
わからん。
project.
Yeah.
知らないんですか。
The link doesn't work actually, Matt.
それはまだ子供だったからの。
Oh, should do.
Oh, I'll fix it.
では他に当時のことを知っている人は。
このわしの他にかね。その日は孫のやつもおった。
Looks pretty cool
孫
though.
さんはどこに。
孫は最近市場のあたりでうろついておると聞いたが。
市場ですか。
そんなやつは風来坊じゃからのどこにおるのや。
It's kind of like the Shenmue Online sort of trailer style game for there.
わかりました。ありがとうございます。
And for turning into a white robes.
Right, let's.
Quite a lot of fan projects recently.
It's good though.
It's nice to see.
The more the merrier.
I think it's because obviously of this down period as well. You know, people want more Shenmue obviously.
そうですか。
So they're making their own.
Yeah, why not?
はい
お姉さん
よ
聞きたい。孫って
しなんだ
孫って人。
今日は
Perhaps going to be the best Shenmue fan game out there, Paddy says. It's a bold claim.
聞きたい
わかりました。
Looks good though. Definitely looks good.
はい今日は
Spice some shit
Nandemo.
while I'm here.
That'd be cool as well. Some more Shenmue Dreamcast betas one day, hopefully. Or the Saturn build would be a nice one to get.
That's what we want, the Saturn build.
毎度
Yep. Or a leaked actual Shenmue 4 playable demo.
Even better.
That'd be cool.
出来たてのありがとう。また。
Let's carry the fuck on. Get to a good point and.
Not
Do you
doing too
reckon
bad, Matt. Where are we? About halfway through Bailu?
Yeah, about halfway through, and it speeds up from here as well. When you start learning the reverse body check, you can sort of skip through the days pretty quickly.
Yeah. Then thinking about it, I bet Niawu you can fly through.
Yeah.
Once you get to the hotel and then you start going back and forth. Oh man, imagine if that exists.
Oh, it
A
would be
full
insane.
unedited Saturn version.
Don't think it does, but
I don't think it does.
Sega unfortunately probably lost everything.
Yeah, or it's just a proof of concept or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
いないのか。
Question, since Ryo's father had both mirrors kept in Japan, there was a reason that he had both. Why he kept one more hidden than the other?
放浪士、聞きたいことが。孫って人
You
を
mean
知り
like
ませんか？
why did he keep one under the tree and one in the basement?
Yeah, I think that's what's being got at.
合
Yeah.
わせてもらえませんか？
孫は最
I
近
mean-
古寺に住み着いているらしい。
Technically, they're both quite well hidden, aren't they?
確実に会えるというものでもないが、
Like,
酒と饅頭を用
apart
意し
from
てい
him
くとよかろう。
physically saying it's buried under the tree, how would you ever know it was buried under a tree?
隠れて待つの
Maybe?
だ。
わかりました。ありがとうございます。
Like, although the Phoenix mirror is quite intricate with the sword, the handguard, the hidden basement, and the wall that you got to break down.
Now here's a funny thing about
Quite good
Shenmue.
hiding places.
Yeah, I in fairness. Thanks, Clunky. Thanks for joining.
Cheers, Clunky.
Sean,
Okay.
one funny thing about Shenmue 3 is it was actually announced by Sega Europe in development, believe it or not. I've got a screenshot of it somewhere. Oh, yeah, time-wise. Right, let's do this last little bit, and then I reckon that'll call us for the stream. Fuck's sake. There we are. That's what I wanted.
Quality.
I think November stream's a Saturday night stream, you know.
Is it? Let me check.
I think.
November the 4th, Saturday. Is anyone doing bonfire night though? Or is that November? Is that November the 5th? Bonfire night.
5th, yeah. So people might be at fireworks displays. But we'll have some of our own fireworks
True,
here.
Saturday night.
用心深いからな。
Already here, are we? Grandmaster Son.
I'm hoping that.
Wine and buns time.
Yeah. Rio's hiding very well.
There's just quite a lot of like silly moments in Shenmue 3, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like this. Maybe Yusuke was just having a little bit more fun with this
父
game.
さんに聞いてきました。
First two quite serious.
何の用じゃ。
Catch the chickens.
He's sort of like, he's scared.
ことがあるんですが。
His hand. Character design wise, he's not as iconic looking as you'd expect, right, for,
No,
for
he
someone
isn't.
like this. Like a big
He has
master.
Quite a big role, doesn't he?
Yeah. Like someone like Janmin even is quite iconic looking. But this guy is very generic looking.
花橋ができた時のことを教えてください。
花橋。あれはわしが10歳の時のことじゃ。
Imagine while new people thought were aware he had the dragon mirror, so he kept that closer, whereas the phoenix mirror was supposed to go much further away separately.
花橋は宮廷の使いを迎えるために新たに掛け替えら
I
れ
feel like the phoenix mirror is more significant. The Hazukis. So it's in the prophecy, and it go the one that holds the phoenix and whatnot.
大人たちをかき分けながら見たその姿は今でもはっきり
Whereas like maybe the dragon mirror is more like in plain sight.
その使いは何のためにハッカソンに
Almost like take it almost. Literally tells Landy where it is, doesn't he?
鏡にどんな関係が？
あの使いはこの国で最高の石彫り師に
More than 2 mirrors, you think? I know I've mentioned having 4 mirrors before.
The heavenly
Like
beasts,
each the
etc.
4 heavenly beasts, yeah.
連続山という天下一の石彫り師がこの村に
Newcastle smashed PSG 4-1. Bloody hell.
I did that. Newcastle on fire lately, aren't they?
It's unreal. Fucking hell. Right. Now let me see if it will let me do one little scene here, and then I'm going to stop.
So that's the connection. It's like a massive reveal, isn't it? But it doesn't really hit that hard.
I like this
Big
scene.
reveal.
王者と
葉月岩をご存知ですか？
葉月お主は
葉月亮と言います。岩は俺の親父です。
ほほう。暇つぶしに一つ手合わ
Do you
せて
reckon this is more like a hidden cutscene?
Yeah, because you don't have to initiate it.
You don't have to come back, do you? No.
どうした
I like it. I really like this.
いえ、お願いします。
So obviously you knew who Iwa was.
Yeah.
何をぼさっとしておる。打ってこぬか。
Very cryptic though, innit? They could have like gave a little bit more. Wow, wow.
それで本気か
I mean, it was only 20 years ago, right?
振りがでかすぎる。好きだらけじゃ。どこのチョコ憲法じゃ。
So I make the point here. If he can't hit this guy, how's he hitting Landy?
本気になってきたな。
This guy's pissed as well.
今の技は
北極圏奥義鉄山鋼。
親父のことを
Full of
知ってい
pork
るんです
buns. Pissed out of his brain.
か？何か知っていることがあれば教えてもらえませんか？
まあ気が向いたらの。
I love that scene. That's very Shenmue, isn't it?
シェンファの家に帰るか？
He never does tell him about his father, does he? Yes, when I'm good and ready.
No, I don't think he does. Right. Let's save the game.
Fortunately.
Right, there we are. So guys, I'm going to bring us to a close there, just short of 25 to 11. Partly because I had a nice 4.5 hour drive home earlier and I'm shattered and need to go to bed. And I think James has got to get up at 5 in the morning. Which is never good. I'm off work, so I don't have to get up as early, but I need the fucking sleep. I can tell you that now. Guys, thank you for dropping in, as always, with the streams. It's been pretty busy for a Wednesday night. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you, obviously, for engaging with the hashtag Let's Get Shenmue 4, hashtag Shenmue Animate 2. Tweet-a-thon today. If we go quiet, we don't get Shenmue 4. It is simple as that. Catch up with the start of the stream for all the Shenmue news. There isn't a huge amount at the moment, but probably the biggest thing is that Yu Suzuki is going to Luca Gamescom or Games Convention in Italy in November, just before Air Twister releases. James and I are going to be back with a stream on the 4th of November. We will also have an additional Shenmue 3 stream on the release date of Shenmue 3 in November as well. James, are you coming back with a lore stream anytime soon, or is that still in the planning stages?
Like I say, next Friday is EGX. Maybe like October the 20th we could do one if you want, Matt. Do that final one.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm up for doing it potentially.
Where we're at schedule-wise. We also need to
Awesome.
do a podcast.
We do.
Maybe next week.
Yeah,
We'll
look
out.
at it. We'll look at it. We'll look at it. And as for extra content from us, guys, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all over the internet. You can pretty much find us. Don't forget about our forums, shenmuedojo.com/forums. I have a video coming out on Saturday, and I think, if my memory serves me correctly, it is around Shenmue and cloud gaming. I've got another one the following week about Shenmue and why it should be on the Nintendo Switch as well. But guys, on that note, I'm going to take us out as usual with Wish. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back on the 4th of November. But for now, guys, it's a goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from me.
And we will see you soon. Take care, guys. Have a good one.
She's